What's going on, guys? I'm the notorious one. I am Dom, and today we are here to pay homage for the culture. Usually I acknowledge the tribal chief, but nah, it's Black History Month, and I want to do it the right way, talking about the culture. I got my friends. I got Strat Facts John. I got my man, the Dominican Dream, Poppy Platino. I got my man Adrian from Suplex Dinner Club, excuse me. I got my man BDC from Delaware. And we got a new guest, my man Rose, Shawn Michaels fan.
Yes, sir.
But guys, let's get into it. Man, growing up as a Black kid, and Abel and John, who were your favorite Black wrestlers growing up?
John.
Start with John. Let John kick it off.
Got me.
Well, I've revealed my history on previous editions of the It Doesn't Matter podcast, and just from there you can trace who was around in that period of time, and his name will come up a lot from my perspective. But the top Black athletes in wrestling growing up for me was the Pearl River Powerhouse, Ahmed Johnson. So at the time that I got into wrestling, he was the big star. He was getting the big push at the time, and you can't say 1996 in WWF without mentioning the Pearl River Powerhouse. So growing up, he was primary influence, and then of course Farouk Assad got in there, but everyone else knew him as Ron Simmons, but I didn't, because I didn't it wasn't there when I got into wrestling, and there just wasn't much when I first got into it. But of course, as the years would go on, more Black wrestlers would appear or become more prominent, and then I would learn more history about Black wrestlers. But to answer the question, the most influential one when I got into wrestling was Ahmed Johnson.
Did you like the double knee pads?
I didn't know what was going on with that guy, but he was intense, and he had that look, man. Don't gold dust, don't touch me, bro. And he was, very physical in the ring. He had the original kick-ass spine buster and the Pearl River plunge. Still no one does that move today, probably because they realized it kept hurting guys.
Yep.
And he was the second guy to body slam Yokozuna. So he was a very impressive guy when I was a young guy.
All right.
Nice.
Rose, what about you?
Oh, growing up, it had to be Booker T. The one and only. If he wasn't trying to do the Spin-a-rooni, there was something wrong with you. He started to realize he was knocking everything over in the house, or kicking your siblings, or and hurting your back. You ain't doing it right.
For real, I remember being in 5th grade and in Catholic school, just spin around the floor, and all the white kids. Oh, let me see you breakdancing. I'm all right. That's all I kept doing.
That's it. Before we had the John Cena, if you didn't have the 5 heads, you had a hand up. I don't know what to tell you. You wasn't doing it right.
For real, that's a good choice right there. BDC, what about you?
Man, when I was coming up, I got fooled. So the first Black wrestler I saw was Mr. T, because Wrestlemania was my first event.
Okay.
Later though, my favorite Black wrestlers ended up being Rocky Johnson and Tony Atlas.
Soul Patrol.
The soul man, and the man that will become Saba Simba.
The man like feet.
A specific type of feet.
Man, look. Nah. Don't remind me of that. I saw that last week. I was like, bruh, come on, man. Come on.
Crashed out.
Come on. But yeah, Soul Man and Tony Atlas were my intro. I learned about Ron Simmons later, but it was Atlas and Johnson for me.
Those are good choices, man.
All right. Abel, what about you?
All right. So growing up, I would have to say Mark Henry. Definitely somebody who has some character to him. Different. I ran track and field, so that whole like doing the shot put and powerlifting, that was more up my alley when I was older. So I was like looking into what he used to do. I never was a power lifter. I was more of a runner, but just being in the Olympics and just having that kind of like forte, and then now how he's like with certain people, he looks at them and he wants to push them to the next level. That's where I want to be.
Mm.
I want to see some talent, regardless if you're black, white, whatever, but just push them to that level, get them to better greatness, and just go there. So Mark Henry's more my influence right now.
Nice.
All right, Adrian, what about you?
Man, my favorite or most influential wrestler probably wasn't the best in ring, but because he was so believable, I definitely enjoyed him in my household. My grandmother, my cousins, my aunts and uncles, they all loved him, and that was Thunderbolt Patterson. My man used to talk his talk. Like growing up, it was toward the end of his career, so I didn't really get to see him wrestle per se, but I would always see him talking crazy on Jim Crockett promotions. He used to get his shit completely off, and he was just believable. He seemed like one of the OGs in the neighborhood. Like, you say something crazy to me, I am gonna smack you. And it is like that. Like that's the energy that Thunderbolt Patterson gave off. And looking back at his promos with him and Ernie Ladd, those dudes were fresh. And because of politics and dynamics of things, they didn't really get the focus. But us, we recognized what those guys were trying to do. So salute to Thunderbolt Patterson.
All right. Now it's for me. Growing up, as a child, going to my grandparents' house every weekend, Saturday morning, watching WCW 905. And, you know, I seen Ron Simmons. Ron Simmons, he was a manly man. Man had the Jerry curl, and he would whoop your ass. And he would lay it into you just like that. And that was my guy. That was my guy at the time. And then it developed into The Rock. Everybody liked The Rock. The Rock talking in third person. The Rock had the silk shirts on with the nice slacks. Hell, I went to JCPenney's and bought me some cheap silk shirts. I had my little fad like that. So it was dope. It was just a cool time to see somebody talk shit. Both of them guys could talk shit and back it up.
Yep.
So
definitely.
Yeah, that was it for me.
That was a good
choice.
So
I tried going around talking in third person and didn't work too long. It's hard to do. It's hard to do.
It's not that hard.
What? Yeah, man, you talk in third person for a whole day. I bet you were able name to go
podcast all day long because Abel knows what he's gonna do. Abel's gonna drink this right now.
And Abel's
that's
gonna
3 lines.
All right, since you want to talk about talking in third person, what's your favorite moment from a black wrestler? You kick it off, Raj. Let Raj kick it off.
My favorite moment. Man, there's a lot of them. I mean, of course, again, I'm gonna stick with Booker T. That 06 King of the Ring that changed him. It's nothing like it. And he came out and the pinky up, King Booker. There's many moments, but since I started Booker T, I'm gonna stick with Booker T. And again, like you were saying, believing that the Harlem Heat is really from where they was, but just believing as a little kid, like growing up in that type of environment anyway, and believing in the Harlem Heat, thinking they really gonna go in there and put some work into somebody.
Yo,
they did it. They Powerhouse.
Some badasses with some nasal strips.
That
was cool back then.
They didn't want to get contested in the ring. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
But it was that, man. That 06 King of the Ring. Once that flipped, man, brought him to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't say when he debuted in WWE, when he took out Austin, put him through the table, that injured Austin. That's what got him going.
It did, but I'm saying though, it was still that same. I felt like it was still that same Booker T from WCW. Like it wasn't the Harlem Heat, but it was the next version. And then once I feel like the 06 just took him to the next level. It was like, all right, this guy's really on the map. He changed. He wasn't people, he carried that King of the Ring persona for so long that it was like really like, who cares if anybody else won it? This is the real king.
Right.
Hell,
This is
he
the guy
took
we're
it to
announcing.
TNA.
Facts. Facts. And to this day, you watching something with him, he might have that little the little thing on his neck or the cape on or the crown. And that's how you gotta live it.
Yeah.
All
Definitely.
right. John, what about you?
What was the question?
What was your favorite moment from a black wrestler?
You're gonna jump all over the place. I mean, the greatest black wrestler moment, and my pick for greatest WrestleMania moment is Kofimania.
Yes.
It's that goes above any other. Been a lot of WrestleManias, of course, and there's lots of great things that have happened there at that event every year throughout the years. But I'll put that at the top because I've watched that match a lot. I've watched Kofi and Brian. I mean, Brian, if someone asks me who my favorite wrestler is, I say Bryan Danielson. I mean, it used to be Chris Benoit.
Same.
But
Yeah,
Brian, can't go wrong with Bryan Danielson, especially considering that I've watched his career since before, WWE, when he was the Ring of Honor World Champion for a whole year and change in 2006. That formidable year. For Booker T and Bryan Danielson, but the second, before that it was the Wrestlemania with Bryan beating Batista and Randy Orton, and that was a big moment for me as a huge Danielson fan. So for Kofimania to top that just shows you how big that was, not just for black wrestlers, fans, people, but as pro wrestling as a whole. So that was the best moment that I can think of.
Yeah, that's one of the few times where somebody won and I was in tears, like happy tears.
Yeah, I was there. Me and
good.
BDC, we was there.
Yeah,
Tears is flowing. It was a proud moment. It was a proud moment for that.
And then you come home and you see the videos of like MVP and Shad hugging.
Right.
Yeah,
all the black wrestlers were just like breaking down left and right. It's like you really can't top that.
No. Still
he did it at WrestleMania.
It's getting to me right now. Like, damn, man, that dude busted his ass all these years. And finally get that recognition.
Took him 11 years to do it.
Yep,
he did it.
And especially when Xavier Woods was over there and he was breaking down crying as he was whipping the belt out after they threw away Daniel Bryan's belt. It was just like you could just feel all that. It was just like, yeah. Like it was just outstanding.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yep. It was a good time. And that's one of my moments too. But another similar moment is when Ron Simmons beat Vader for that title. Because that was the first time that it happened. And then Vader ran the road and Ron Simmons hit him with that body slam, the 1, 2, 3. And you see that black kid in the front row jumping and legs flying up and down. Like, yeah, granted, I might have been like 4 years old, but just seeing that always stuck with me. Like, all right, that's pretty cool that, we're the face of the company now.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it just showed that we can do what they do, basically.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, Adrian, what about you, man?
7 words. Hulk Hogan, we're coming for you, nigga. The most real, perfect moment. Authentic. All of us has experienced that. Every one of us, even some of us who shouldn't be saying that word, we have caught ourselves in that kind of situation. Like, yo, I don't care where I am, I don't care who I'm talking to. It's going down. Like, that's the kind of energy. That's my favorite moment.
The energy.
Yes.
I mean, when Booker T got inducted into the the WrestleMania the one in New York, New Jersey, 29, 29.
29.
When he got inducted into the Madison Square Garden Hall of Fame that year, and they played that clip. Of course, they didn't play the entire clip, but people in the audience, some people in the audience were upset that other people finished what they cut out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You can understand
people
getting upset.
tend to use that opportunity to just finish the sentence.
Yeah.
You know damn well they shouldn't.
Go to a concert.
Maybe one person in particular was shouting it along that no one else wanted them to shout it along at that WrestleMania. I mean, at that Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame inductee, Donald Trump. Also at that year's Hall of Fame in 2013.
Leave it to John.
Fun.
Leave it to John.
You know, I remember when the network came out, I searched for Spring Stampede and I looked for that clip. I was wondering if they took it out. Nah, it's still up and running on there.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good thought process. Like, what are the top 5 things people looked up when the WWE Network premiered? And that was one of them.
Oh yeah, I think that was
one of
there, 5 or top 2.
Yeah. Booker T's promo, Spring Stampede '97.
Oh man. Hey, but what about you?
Well, I'm a copy Rose right now and follow the whole theme since he picked Booker T and I had Mark Henry. I'm gonna do the promo we had with John Cena where he faked us out.
Oh, the retirement.
Yeah, that was great.
That was money.
I was like, damn man, this guy, he's about to retire. He busted his ass and all that. And all of a sudden, the best world's strongest slam. Oh my God, goosebumps! The Hall of Pain starts, and then
classic.
Yep.
Yeah, that right there is a hell of a moment.
It was so believable.
That should have kicked off a run for Mark.
Oh
yeah,
they killed it at the next pay-per-view. I want to say Cena submitted him or something. I was just what the fuck, man?
Yeah, what was that about?
Yeah, it was a beautiful moment. My man, he's already emotional, so it's just straight believable. My man.
He laid it all out.
That was it.
Oof. Yeah,
man. BDC, what about you, man?
Yeah, so because I can't go with Kofi because you already said it.
Good.
I'm gonna go a little lower down the scale. I'm gonna call it the night that a black man ruled TNA. It was Turning Point 2004, the night Eli Skipper danced across the steel cage into the Hurricane Rana. That, every step he took, I saw him falling and breaking his neck.
Yeah.
Right. But he managed to make it at least 3 sides before he hit that.
That's
and hit
crazy.
it like a champ. I was like, what? I mean, Don West, I thought his voice was gonna explode. They're like, you gotta be kidding! I'm like, I do. But yeah, that I think he ended up winning Moment of the Year for 2004, and that was Match of the Year for him. So yeah, he just out of nowhere, just he lit up that night.
They still show that to this day, man.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Oh yeah,
they still show that clip.
Yep.
Was he Canadian?
It's all on highlight reels of some of the top TNA moments.
I believe.
Was he Canadian? Or was he just put in there like Hacksaw Jim Duggan?
No.
I forgot about that.
Well, you know what Hacksaw went over? Because the
WCW's terrible.
No, because the states didn't want to take care of his medical bills, so he went to Canada.
So that's why he became T.
Oh, was that really storyline?
Yeah,
that's wild.
Oh my God, that's
a great reason storyline wise.
Yeah, that's funny.
But it was based in reality. I think he went up to Canada to have his medical bills taken care of.
Oh shit! So that's why he came back with a haircut.
Yep. They had a motion go with them.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Lord.
I believe John gave me that fact, so
Yes, Don, that must have been one of those moments. Me and Abel were talking to each other, and Dom was doing something else.
Yeah.
Probably because we did do one show. I forgot when.
New Blood? Did we do New Blood
Rising?
Rising?
Nah, but Hacksaw hit somebody with the 2x4.
All right.
And Major Guns came out, interfered. What made it Fall Brawl 2000, something like that, or 99? One of them.
Yeah, one of them. It was one of our
watch-alongs.
Bash to the Beach? It doesn't. Yeah,
it doesn't matter yet. They don't like WCW.
People don't like WCW, even though they got some. They have a great talking points in WCW pay-per-view shows.
They did.
Facts.
All right, guys, let's kick it off with the women. Let's show them some love now. I'm gonna kick it off. I'm gonna have to say, I love my Bianca and I love Jade, but y'all forgot about Miss Jackie.
Oh,
she a Hall of Famer. We ain't talking about her on the shoulders and chocolate titties popping out, but she could throw down.
Hey, St. Valentine's Day is coming up, so.
Oh, exactly. Sorry. But Miss Jackie could throw down. I just feel that she was just in the wrong era at the wrong time. That was it.
Yes.
Like, if she was in today's era, it'd be perfect.
She's one that I would definitely co-sign for.
I kind of hated that they pushed Sable so hard, and they pushed her at the detriment of Jackie, because Jackie looked 10 times better than her. But anyway,
Jackie could actually wrestle too.
Yeah, that too. And it was like they pushed Sable to the moon, and Jackie, who had really earned it, was getting kind of cast aside.
Well, like they said, Bruce or somebody said that Vince had his type: tall, blonde, and skinny.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Charlotte's getting all that love: tall, blonde, and skinny.
And that chick with the lawsuit.
Jane Blonde, you're brunette.
39.
Brunette after they took a dump on her. Anyways.
Whoa.
Man, that's shit.
Yep.
Right.
Oh man. But Abel, since you talking, who you got for a female?
I'm gonna go with Jazz. Old school.
Good call.
Yep.
Jazz did not get the love that she really should have gotten. I know, like in recent times, I think with NWA, they put the belt on her, and she had like a decent run for about. I didn't follow about a year or so, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And from I guess she was a parole officer at the time too. For her to deal with guys that are just knuckleheads, or God forbid, or maybe they just fell in the wrong place at the wrong time, or did something stupid, and to do that and then get back into wrestling was just as bad, if not worse, because the cutthroatness in business and how everybody is, and to still be a talent that's worth to watch. Jazz deserves a lot more love than we've been giving her.
Yep,
she should be in the Hall, in my opinion.
She will be. She definitely will be. John, wasn't she in Triple Threat WrestleMania 18? And she retained the title, right?
When Triple H runs out of female wrestlers to put in the Hall of Fame, that's when Jazz will get there.
Oh man!
But I mean, I wasn't familiar with Jazz at all because I wasn't an ECW person. But when seeing some clips of her in ECW, she was trying to be, at that time, very feminine. She's trying to be more feminine, and when she went to WWE, she went more butch. But they treated her just like they did Jacqueline. They acknowledged her as a good worker and as a solid heel to be in the ring with, but they never were ever going to put anything behind her to push her as a top superstar.
Right.
But she she's always in the right spot, the right place at the right time. So yeah, I mean, why not? She is definitely a top competitor in the WWE.
Is she still married to Rodney Mack?
I believe so.
You remember him?
Wow, yeah, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Rodney Mack,
Yeah, I remember Rodney Mack.
Yeah. Do you remember back in the day, Teddy Long and Rodney Mack, the White Boy Challenge?
Mm-hmm. that was almost going to be my favorite moment.
Yeah,
because he used to get down. He used to get down on those.
I was going to fantasy book that at the time. I was like, Rodney Mack's going to take that challenge, and maybe it was the storyline at the time. I was like, he's going to take that all the way to Goldberg, and They did, but by that time they weren't pushing Rodney Mack. So
Oh yeah.
Rodney Mack and Jazz, they were married at the time, and this has happened in WWE, Black Friday layoffs over the years. They've released couples. They released Rodney Mack and Jazz at the same time.
Wow.
They released Karrion Kross and Scarlett at the same time, and probably Maria Kanellis and Mike Kanellis at the same time. So, I mean, they do it in pairs sometimes. It sucks, but there you go.
So, who do you have for your favorite female?
Well, I'm looking at this. I'm using a cheat sheet that Dom gave me a little while ago. And I'm glad it's there because there's someone that's not on it, and it's someone that I'm associated with very closely and predominantly, and that is the returning number 2 entrant in the 2024 Women's Royal Rumble, and that is Naomi. I like Naomi, of course. I mean, I have her T-shirt. I got the feel, the glow, and sometimes when you're with your friends, you gotta just pick someone sometimes, and maybe you really like them, maybe you don't, but I really do like Naomi, and I thought that gimmick was fire. I'm like, they take this feel the glow gimmick to WrestleMania. How awesome would that look at WrestleMania? Definitely. And they did it. WrestleMania 33 in Orlando, her hometown. I mean, they had her win the title, then drop the title due to injury, but thank God she made it her way back. And I was like, if she does that entrance at WrestleMania, I'm going crazy in the stands, man. And that's what happened. So throughout the years, I am the Naomi guy. I even met her at work in a work capacity. She did her first Make-A-Wish Foundation, Make-A-Wish for a sick kid at Mohegan Sun. And of course, you got to be professional. You don't say anything. You just do your job. But if I ever meet her in person, I'm like, hey, Naomi, do you remember your first Make-A-Wish event? She's like, yeah, of course. I was the guy that put the microphone on your ear. I don't like that.
That's when she slowly backs away from me.
Yeah.
I felt your glow. But anyway, beyond that, she's good looking. She's a good athlete. And Naomi's my girl.
That's a good pick. That was a fun WrestleMania too.
Yeah.
That was super fun.
Great theme song.
Yeah.
Hardy Boys came back.
Shitty stadium though.
Yeah.
They refused to call it
Camping World
Stadium. It was always the Citrus Bowl.
Terrible.
The Toilet Bowl, Janet.
All right, Rose, what about you, bro?
I'm gonna go with Sasha Banks.
There you go.
So like,
Can't go wrong with her. Can't go wrong.
Man, her NXT run, I know a lot of the guys and girls NXT runs were some were better than others, but most of them had great runs. But her NXT run was something different, man. Yeah. She came in and took over with the 4 horsemen and women, but we're not gonna talk about the other 3 because it's the Black History version. So, but her run at NXT, I mean, she carried it over, but I feel like that NXT run was different, man. She that was the best version of her by far. At least not in ring, but I mean not contractually or but her in ring ability and the more time they gave her, her match was just golden.
Yeah, and that match she had with Bianca at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was real good.
Yes, for real.
Another powerful moment right there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Sasha
and Snoop Dogg's her cousin.
Yeah, and Snoop is her cousin. Oh man, BDC, what about you, bro?
Well, my pick is always going to be Miss Jackie. So, since we already know about her, we're going to take a minute to talk about somebody who doesn't get a whole lot of recognition. We talk about Jade Cargill and the body and the specimen of who she is, and as of right now, how she's learning her talent. So we're going to talk about before Jade Cargill, there was a young lady by the name of Linda Miles.
Wow, Shaniqua.
Yeah, Shaniqua.
Wow.
Who had the body, she had the look, she had all of that. she had very limited exposure in the ring because they put her along with two dudes and made her a dominatrix.
Yep.
They, I thought that she had the ability to be pushed, but at that time it was all about just making gimmicks out of everybody. So she became Shaniqua, and she just became a valet, and that was pretty much it. I think she had she got a shot, I think she could have gone places with it, but maybe we'll see Jade Cargill rise up and we'll realize that could have been Linda back in the day.
Hey, BDC, can I ask you something?
Fire away.
Do you remember when JBL clotheslined her from hell and swollen? Oh, Linda Shaniqua, you developed these things due to the swelling. What a sad thing.
Oh, Lord.
I
I don't remember much of her at the time. I really don't remember much of her at
now.
the time.
Yeah. She looked the part.
She absolutely looked the part.
I mean, I'm just gonna. I don't really know. I'm just going to guess using the best guess I can. It's either it's got to be the 2004 No Way Out pay-per-view February, or the 2003 one. I think that's the only. If it's like you ask, hey, where do you think I could find a Bastion Brothers and Shaniqua match? I'm like, I think 03 or 04 No Way Out, but that's just a guess. Because they were not. I mean, like obviously I remember them. Shaniqua and the Bastion Brothers and the dominatrix stuff.
Yep.
But I can't really pinpoint them to any great match or anything.
You're not. They're not putting up any 5-star matches.
No,
it's not happening.
So the focus is more on her tag team that she was managing than herself. But as soon as you were leading that way, BDC, I was like, oh no. Then he said it. Good one though.
Oh man, yeah, I wasn't expecting her. I forgot all about her actually. She, I seen something on Facebook. She popped up. I think she's like a college referee or a WNBA referee nowadays.
Yep. She's a referee now.
Nice.
Yeah. So, Adrian, what about you? Oh, go ahead. My bad.
And to your credit, John, it was indeed No Way Out 2004.
Nice.
And you know what we're talking about in February? No Way Out 2004. We're talking about that show this year too.
All right, there.
04.
Was it 04?
They lost a handicap match to Rikishi and Scotty 2 Hottie.
Oh my goodness. Huh, I wonder if she made it to WrestleMania 20. Probably not. They probably fired her. Anyway, that was a 5-hour show. The original long ass WrestleMania 20.
Oh God,
5 hours.
Jeez.
The greatest WrestleMania ever.
Where it all began. Again?
All right.
All right. Adrian, what about you?
I'm going to shout out Awesome Kong, man. Awesome Kong was always one of my favorite wrestlers. She looked the part. She was intimidating. She's a good worker. Even as of recently, unfortunately, she didn't really get to do much in AEW, but the potential was there for her to do something.
Yep.
So shout out to her. Also, she did a great job in that series Glow.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah,
she did.
She killed it on there. So she showed range.
That character she had.
The welfare queen.
Right. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
80s,
I mean, nah, the but disrespect. Yeah, Awesome Kong was always one of my favorites, so I want to shout out her for sure.
I'm surprised you didn't mention her, Abel.
I wanted to give you a curveball.
Or maybe
every time you think I got the answers, I change the questions.
All right. Well, I'm changing the question right now, but I'm gonna ask you the question. The future is now. The future is bright. Who do you see in the world of professional wrestling right now that could be that guy or gal to be your next Rock? Or who I want to say that kind of goes to what I want to say. Like, who's your Mount Rushmore? But I don't know who you consider the best black athlete of all time. So basically, who's gonna be that guy or who's gonna be that gal? Who's your future?
Who, me?
Yeah, for you.
The future would for black wrestling right now would have to be Jade for the females, and for the men, you'll be shocked. Trick Williams.
I got Trick.
Good call.
I got Trick up there.
Trick is reminding me of Booker T coming up in WCW, where that slow grind, you don't see it coming. He had his tag team run for a little bit. He breaks away. He finally gets that one or two matches where he's right there, and now and the crowd the other day, I was like,
Yeah.
He is over. I went to NXT Deadline, and when his theme song went off, the place went nuts, man.
It's crazy. I was thinking it would have been Montez at this point, but I don't know what he did or what's going on. Maybe the show but WWE pumped the brakes real quick. I'm like, what are you doing? Let that Mack truck keep rolling. Like, he knows what he's doing, but they better not do that with Trick, man, because someone gonna whip that Trick.
I think the problem with Montez is that they see the Street Profits as money. So as long as they see the Street Profits as money, Montez is not going to get a chance to shine on his own.
That's.
I agree.
They Why are break money, but
right.
Why break them up? If they together, they golden.
Yeah,
they could go the New Day route though. When Big E won the championship, they were still together, but they can still shine.
It's different because they still got a tag team. It's technically
different with 3 than 2 because Big E can break off. You knew that was bound to happen, and he was going to break off, but still be a part. You can't really break off Montez because then it's a matter of Angelo proving that he can do it. Now, don't get me wrong, I think he can.
I believe so.
But the thing of it is if they don't have that much confidence in Angelo doing it on his own, then why take him away from Montez, who who can?
Damn. Yeah.
Angelo can't really talk like that. That's one of his main issues right there.
I don't know. You'd be surprised.
I mean, I'd argue that Angelo Dawkins can talk better than Montez.
Yeah, I can say that.
Yeah.
Maybe you haven't seen it yet, but just something about him, man. Just I don't know. I see something that we're not seeing, but
I mean,
he's gonna show it.
Dawkins could go the way of Tucker. Remember him? Heavy Machinery. Tez is Otis.
Well, I think Dawkins got a natural edge to him. It's just he's got to be able to show it.
I don't see the singles competitor.
I think is they haven't given him the opportunity to show that edge and to show that he can go singles and produce for them. But I give him a month. Give him a month run and show you what he's got.
Well, maybe being part of the Pride will help him.
Not after what happened with AOP.
Yeah,
man, they've been getting the brakes beat off of them, man. Week after week, bro. Week after week.
We won't even get started on that. What's with Paul Ellering in the one white glove? The hell?
He's on his Michael Jackson flow. That's
without the glitter.
All right. So, Adrian, who you got?
Man, I was gonna say Trick Williams. So let me go ahead and say the easy, obvious answer of Jade Cargill. I'm gonna go ahead and take that. She looks $1 million, and she's in the right situation now. She has the right people in her ear. She has the talent. She seems to have the drive, and the people want to see her succeed. So I'm optimistic that Triple H does the right thing with her in the sense of not rushing her out because she's still got things to learn. But all the talent is there. It's no need to rush her. Fortunately, you have one of the best rosters in company history at this point. No point whatsoever should you be rushing out Jade Cargill for any match just for her to get exposed and therein dragged by wrestling fans, because you know people are waiting. People are waiting for her to screw up just so they could say, see, she shouldn't. I mean, she didn't belong at AEW anyway, or any of that craziness. So I'm hoping that they continue to do the right thing. Rumble was made me more optimistic about their direction with her.
Yep. I agree.
All right. You know, I kind of want to see. At first, I want to see her and Bianca at WrestleMania, which
it's too soon.
It's too soon. Yeah, you need to build it up. So I kind of want to see them to become a tag team and run the damn division. Yeah. I kind of want to see that and then build it to WrestleMania 41.
Yeah,
but there's only one.
Where there's like a jealousy right there.
Yeah.
It's a perfect opportunity. They could do that. Perfect opportunity. No need to hot shot book that. Nope. I mean, you got 2 stars. You got 2 stars. Let the people wait. If the people want it, you let them wait. That's an old rule in pro wrestling. If the people are hot for it, let them wait.
Hey, it's like food in the crock pot. Keep it on low.
Yeah. You remember how they made us wait for Daniel Bryan? Wrestlemania?
Yeah.
Yeah,
they made us wait every month. Everybody was getting mad about that shit. Hell yeah. Thank you, Punk. But you know, this dude, he wins the title. Orton cashes in on him, and just keep on going. One big cycle. Yep. He faced Bray Wyatt in a steel cage match at the Royal Rumble, I want to say. Yep. He didn't make it in the Royal Rumble match.
I think that was a Raw, actually, bro.
No, it was Raw. Yeah. The match was what was it, like the week after Rumble?
They did have a match at the Rumble.
They did have a match at Rumble, but that cage match was Monday Night Raw.
Hanging out with John, get that strap facts.
One of the worst Daniel Bryan action figures is the one him wearing a jumpsuit.
Oh yeah.
That was horrible.
But yeah, they made us wait, and we got what we wanted.
That's another topic for another time. But they fell into that one. There was no plans or designs for Daniel Bryan to be for Wrestlemania to happen. None at all. They just fell into it. Thank you, CM Punk. Thank you, Batista. Thank you, fans hating on Batista winning the Rumble instead of Roman Reigns that year. Imagine that. So it just came together like that. But it wasn't. They didn't book it that way. They fell into it.
Yeah, I think to a degree they're doing that with Cody right now. Has finished the story. Yeah. Now this dude done won 2 Rumbles in a row. Got beat by Roman last year. If they decide they want to have Roman take the record for a longest streak in modern history, he's going to get beat again. And then we're going to have to see what happens after that. Unless they really consider giving him a shot at Seth Rollins, which I don't understand because that title has no lineage. But
it doesn't.
We'll see.
Yeah, they got to shoot their title.
Mm-hmm.
It's the working man's title. That's your daddy's title.
Well, someone had to create it.
Like it's your daddy's title, except it wasn't around when your daddy was wrestling.
I'd rather get the one that my dad never got a chance to get.
Not the one that didn't exist. Right.
I don't know.
Right.
Finish the story, goddammit. I'm tired of this.
Yeah, for real. It's a long book.
Facts.
Choose your own adventure.
2K. Finish it in 2K, that's all. Raj, who you got?
Wait, what's the question?
The future is now. Who's the future? There's been a lot of Trick Williams talk, been a lot of Jade Cargill talks.
The future. It's still Bianca. Bianca's still the future. Okay. We've seen a lot of it, but I feel like there's just nothing there was nothing going on at the time when she, wrestling, all the women wrestlers was either up and down with Ronda Rousey, didn't know what was going on with her. Charlotte kept getting injured. Becky was pregnant. Like, her run was like it was good. It was a good run, but it was like right now is the peak. There's way more female wrestlers that's able to compete with that, with her, with everybody. Like it's at its prime right now. So I think she's still a future. Again, she carried the company at a time that wasn't too many that was really on top. A lot of the wrestlers female wrestlers are still coming up, or was out. So she still got another run in her. I feel like another big run in her. They just gotta figure out a way of doing it right.
I agree.
Yeah, all right. BDC, what about you?
Yeah, so I mean, I gotta go with Trick, and I look at it like they tried to push Mello because Mello don't miss, and somehow he completely missed the fact that Trick was passing him.
Ooh.
That's a bar.
Because Trick, I mean, Trick is legitimately just like he done built up with no help from anybody. They haven't been pushing Trick at all.
Hell
They've
no.
been pushing
in the background the whole time.
Mello this, Mello that. It's him. They've been pushing Mello hard as hell, and Trick is in the meantime, he's the one that's getting over.
Yeah.
So I mean, right now, this current storyline right now is a storyline that's been drug out like 6 months about who attacked them, and they still trying to say it's Mello after 6 months. They're literally just dragging it along to kind of keep Mello in the picture with that. Mello should have been at SmackDown by now, but he's still on NXT. Why is that?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Because the guys running the show did not believe in him.
Well, they still like the bigger wrestlers. Even though it's a Triple H taking over, you can still see it. They like the bigger wrestlers.
Yeah, and it's crazy because it was like when Trick was getting started, it was like, okay, yeah, another big guy, stuff like that. But then after a while, you start to see little things. It's like he's starting to get over like Dream did a couple of years ago when Dream Over was huge.
Yeah, he was.
And there was things that he wasn't even trying to do. It was just happening.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where Trick is now. Now, don't get me wrong. Booker T singing to a song, it certainly helps.
Oh yeah, I hyped it up.
Yeah.
What?
But I like it. Yeah. So it's like, but he's legit and he's showing it, and fans are catching on to it. And now it's like it's almost to a point where it's like they really can't afford to mess this up. It's like a one-shot deal. Either you're gonna ride him out or you're gonna bury him at this point.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep. John, what about you?
Well, let's turn the page, turn the promotion for just a little bit, if you will. The man of the future, the man of the hour, the tower of power, Powerhouse Hobbs. He is the future. I really do like Powerhouse Hobbs a lot. And I just, with the recent passing of Ice Train, Powerhouse Hobbs physically, the look kind of looks like Ice Train, and I never got it as a kid why Ice Train didn't get a push, and that's actually a note I had for this show tonight was to mention why didn't Ice Train get any love from anyone? He was, he debuted as a part of Fire and Ice when I started watching wrestling, but he was in WCW before that. And he went to Germany and he wrestled around there and he came to WCW for a spell or two. But anyway, but I like Powerhouse Hobbs a lot. And in the AEW Fight Forever game, I made a little bit of a point in saying, if you're playing a video game for the very first time, it could be a wrestling game, like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat or something. You're gonna pick two fighters for some reason. Maybe it's random. Maybe you're just like, I know this guy's name, or this one's more famous. And the first match I played when I opened AEW Fight Forever was playing as Powerhouse Hobbs versus Sting. So something in the back of my head said, I'm going to play Powerhouse Hobbs. And of course, I love the Stinger. So
nice.
But that's my choice for the future of black superstars in pro wrestling, Powerhouse Hobbs.
Dom?
Well, for me, it's been Trick, it's been Jade, but it's also one other guy who's over, and when he does win the AEW title, I hope he comes back to WWE because Triple H could push him to the moon. And that's
He didn't do it before.
He still has somebody behind the scenes that's not there right now, but that's Swerve. Shane Swerve Strickland.
I'm mad. I was thinking that while we were talking too.
He got over it organically, man.
Yeah.
Another guy. He is so hot right now, too, man. Just, oh my God. I just hope AEW push him to the moon and
they will.
Don't look back. Like, don't mess this one up.
You can't.
I'm rooting for you, AEW. Like seriously, like this dude with Prince Nana, the man who I didn't want his autograph back in the day. We are
eating crow right now.
Yeah, seriously.
How the tables have turned.
Yo, there's one random Ring of Honor show. He's like, "You want my autograph?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm all set." He's like, "I'm not WWE." I'm like, "Yeah." So, but now look at him. Prince Nana doing the damn thing, and Swerve is just straight over. And then the first time I seen Swerve in action, it was in Wrestlemania weekend in New Orleans, and when he came out to the All Night Long theme song, and he engaged to the crowd. The crowd had him over his wrestling abilities. He's good. He is good.
You know, he reminds
Hell, I love to see Trick and Swerve in the ring against each other.
You know how much he
that
reminds
should be
me
dope.
of, but you'll never figure it out because he doesn't have the comedy relief. R-Truth.
He's golden.
Yo, R-Truth
is golden, man.
Match. If you look back from when he had the NWA title, you put him in any match, and R-Truth was the man.
Mm-hmm.
And looking at Swerve right now, he doesn't need that comedy relief bullshit. But you put him in GCW, all these other indies where you're like, what the hell is he doing over here? And he just puts in work and just A1, man. So
yeah,
that's the one comparison I can have, just because body of work, ability to work with anybody, and just morph into whatever he needs to be for that time, for that show, whatever it is. That's that dude. So yeah,
entertainer.
Yes, he entertainer.
Mm-hmm.
R-Truth, entertainer. So that right there.
If I started promotion today, I'd sign R-Truth.
I would sign R-Truth, and I'd sign Swerve right now too.
Yeah. I got issues with Swerve, but I feel him. I mean, I feel people enjoying him. I'm not a fan of the person, but the performer, I respect it for sure.
All right.
And as far as Truth, I mean, Truth got people calling one man two different names. Tom and Nick.
He's the only person that can get away with that. Only person that can get away
Truth is golden, man. He's a diamond in the rough. I'm telling you.
Definitely.
I mean,
Little Jimmy.
Just it works, man. What a pop. He came out number 24 or 26 at the Women's Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Caused by Holly to get eliminated.
Was it another Royal Rumble? He brought out the ladder and tried to start climbing up the.
The Money in the Bank.
It's like you can say R-Truth. It's like, come on, man, that's corny. If you read it, if you read it, and it's like, that's corny. That's like, man, experience R-Truth. He's someone to experience. But as for Swerve Strickland, I forgot about that guy, but he's been around a long time, and I was never a fan of his. I don't get it. I really don't get it. So he's one of those guys in AEW where seeing his body of work there, it's kind of like, all right, you won me over, man. Like you're great, and it's like you should be getting pushed. And at that time, he got a little bit of one, then they put him away for a little while. Now he's back, and now he's getting the push, and hopefully it sustains, and we'll see what happens with Hangman and Samoa Joe. But man, he's it right now.
Yeah. He is it. He got that edge. He got that dog in him.
Oh.
All right, guys. Final topic of the night. Mount Rushmore. Who is your Mount Rushmore of black wrestlers? I'll kick it off. So, like I said, when I was a child and I seen this man win the title, Ron Simmons. Ron Simmons had a major impact in me being a wrestling fan, because after Ron Simmons became Farouk, and when he was in a Nation of Domination at that time, that opened your eyes. Like I said, me going to a Catholic school, I could relate. Like, all right, like I'm surrounded with all these white dudes. I'm all hearing all the stuff in the news and whatnot, but then you hear about like Nation of Islam and Farrakhan, all stuff like that, and everything else going on in the world. And like he was just like I'm not gonna say a bitter black man, but he was just telling like it is.
Yep.
And he was just a great wrestler. And then for him to evolve after that to acolyte to the APA, and then how he could just, do what we do, just sit there, play cards, talk shit, and fight and drink beer. That's the life right there. That's like that's like every man's dream right there. So I got Farouk on mine, Ron Simmons, and I got the most electrifying man in all entertainment, even though he really claims his Samoan side, but your daddy black. Everybody know that. Yeah. So, but he's definitely up there. And his name, the next guy's name, then popped up, tonight a lot of times. Booker T. I was a big Booker T guy. WCW. I was a big Harlem Heat guy. And my fourth, this dude, he's a great wrestler. He's still active, and he dominated in TNA as well. I'm gonna have to go with Lashley.
Ooh, yep.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm have to say. Lashley's the truth. I wish he had more. That rivalry he had with Drew for the title, that shit was amazing.
I wish he had tapped out Brock Lesnar.
Yes.
That pisses me off to this day. He had him, and yet the WWE did not give us what we really wanted.
How are you going to have 3 matches, and they all suck?
Seriously. But I like my man Big E says, big meaty man slapping meat. I like them dudes that's going at it. I like that. Like I like a physical fight. I like that shit.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, don't hold nothing back.
All right, Vince, calm down.
Wait a minute.
You got to go in the back room with the Undertaker.
Oh man! All right, but Adrian, what you got?
All right, I got Ron Simmons. I echo your sentiment for sure. The Rock, obviously. I added Bianca Belair because out of all the black women performers, she has the highest ceiling, and she's actually delivering. She's already main evented WrestleMania. That's a huge accomplishment, and the sky's the limit with her. Talent alone. Last person, Durag Vince McMahon. Nah. I'm joking. My last person, Teddy Long, the legend. Yes. Teddy Long. Shout out to him. One of the first black refs that I ever saw growing up. Yeah. And just his manager work. He managed the Undertaker. He managed a number of tag teams, and like we mentioned earlier, Rodney Mack, like he's been around, and he's one of the coolest people to ever meet at a WrestleCon or any of those shows. One of the nicest guys. He'll spend the whole day talking to you. He's one of the coolest guys ever. So I got to add Teddy.
Nice.
Yeah. Abel, who you got?
Got to go with Ron, obviously. That dude influenced so many black wrestlers. Had mentorship from The Rock, so I got to add The Rock too with all his influence. Especially, the dude is he's got his hand on everything, and it's just turned into gold. So I got to add him. Got to go with Mark Henry, number 3, because he helped the 2 girls that are pretty much in WWE right now. Call them his daughters, Jade, Cargill, and Bianca. He found them girls, and he's put them in a position to win. So Mark Henry's in there, and for a female, I'm gonna put Jazz. I go with longevity, match wise, being able to work with other females and put on a show. I mean, like I said, she just got done wrestling maybe a few years ago, and she was still putting on a hell of a show. And I just don't want her legacy to be like misguided or not even like forgotten, because she really put on a show for us. And yeah, it's regardless if it's pro wrestling, it is sports entertainment. And anytime I seen Jazz, I just stopped what I was doing and just watched the matches. And I was always entertained. So
that's a good list.
Yeah, Rose, what about you?
I mean, I'm a marry at 3 with Farouk or Ron Simmons, Rock, and Booker T, of course, probably one of my favorites. But I'm gonna stick with Bianca Belair. I mean, I'm sorry, with Sasha Banks, because with Bianca they highlighted WrestleMania as the first Black women to do it. But Sasha she carried it. She carried it for a while. You know what I'm saying? When that black female wrestler was gone for the most part, Sasha carried it, man. She brought it back and she made it look good about it. But I mean, you can't go wrong with Rock, Farouk, and Booker T, man. Those, of course, it's a preference, or you might want to add somebody different just because they're pretty common. But man, they left their mark on WWE, WWF.
Definitely.
That's unprecedented, man. Some of them, The Rock became the biggest thing since sliced bread. Farouk set all the boundaries, broke all the rules, did it all. Laid the line down for everybody else. Yep. And it's King Booker. One and only. One and only. But yeah, I'm gonna go with those 4, man. I mean, there's so many others you could put up there from preference to, just career highlights. But if I can add a 5th, I'm gonna just say the Junkyard Dog because I like this.
I'm surprised nobody mentioned him tonight. I'm very surprised nobody mentioned him.
Baby.
Junkyard Dog.
It's hard to put in Junkyard because I didn't watch him growing up. I think he came in the WWE after his like best runs in Memphis. So like if you go back, I don't even know where the tapes are at for Junkyard, but he had Hogan like runs down south. I really wish I could like watch more stuff like that. It's unparalleled what he could have done. But I guess by the time Vince got him, he was like, I got my guy. Fuck this guy.
He had intimidating features, man. You come down and ring that big old chain rope around your neck. I don't wrestle him. Barking at me. What's going on here?
Yeah, but his weight was going up too, so that was an issue for his downfall. So.
Oh, absolutely.
That dude, oversold everything. Every time somebody hit him, he just went stiff.
Yes.
Killed him.
Oh man, John, he had a match in WCW. Who did he go against? Vader or something like that? I don't remember. I think it was like in '92. I remember Sting in his corner or something like that. It was a wild match. It was just weird to see him like he was just like big pot belly old version of himself. Yeah, it wasn't the same. It was just crazy. Like he wasn't thumping or jiving or nothing like that. It was just a complete different version of himself at the time, and it just sucked. Like from watching his, down south stuff to his, King Harley race days and all that stuff like that. Like it was like a complete shell of himself. That's something to say.
Well, like Dave Chappelle said, cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Was he on
a whole different time period?
Yeah,
it was. Yeah. Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah,
sad.
It's a whole different time period.
I'm glad I never got into that shit.
Still time.
Never too late.
Don't give up. Never give up.
Lord.
You can do it.
I got connections in Miami.
I thought that was powdered sugar.
Oh Lord. All right, BDC, what about you?
All right. I'm going strictly from historical context. So Ron Simmons, first Black NWA champ. Kofi Kingston, first Black WWE champ. Bianca and Sasha Banks, first Black women that headline on WrestleMania.
Yeah, man, you can't go wrong.
Damn.
everything that we said on our list, like our Mount Rushmore, you can't go wrong.
Yep.
Because they all did something that's gonna be, monumental in life, and you're gonna, remember that shit.
Yep.
I agree. John.
Well, I'm glad Dom just said that because I'm going to mess it all up right now for you. Because how can we forget about Soul Train Jones?
Oh, shit.
I know you was going to bring that up.
Oh,
I mean, it's amazing how much we left out, how much we did not acknowledge a lot of Black superstars. But when we started the show, I already wrote my Mount Rushmore down. I started to write it down, and we've been doing the show for about an hour now, and I keep looking at it, and it really hasn't changed much, even after listening to all you guys. There are some similarities here, but let's go down the list here, and I'll give you reasons why, hopefully. But first on my list is that guy that's kicked off the show, that Pearl River Powerhouse, Ahmed Johnson, because he was that influential to me when I first got into wrestling. That's it, plain and simple. He's the first guy you saw, the first guy you loved, so that's why Ahmed Johnson is there on my list. Next up is Booker T, in the same manner, but just in WCW, and following his career, he's just a tag. I mean, he was already in WCW in a tag team for a couple of years, but when I saw him, he was still part of that tag team, and he started that singles run, and maybe you saw it on Instagram or not, but he had a singles match against the Macho Man, like a real one, and it's like, what? When did that happen? But of course, he'd have a real, like some of the guys won the WCW World Title later, and it's like it really wasn't the WCW World Title. And take that, Cody Rhodes. But Booker T was a real WCW champion, and he went to WWE. He had a long, great career there. Should have won the title at WrestleMania 19, didn't?
Yes.
But anyway, Booker T, he's already on your list, so enough said, right? And as well as the third one is Ron Simmons. He's kind of a little bit before my time, but he's also at the time I started watching wrestling also. And just like Dom said, from being a big influence in the early 90s all the way to transforming his character toward the early 2000s, and still being a relevant, impactful character on WWE. And damn. And number four is Bianca Belair. Even though I am the Naomi guy, I am also a huge Bianca Belair fan, and I will defend her to no end to anyone that doesn't like her. I'm like, well, you cannot deny, if you don't like her look, her gimmick, her personality, the way she talks, you will not deny her athletic ability in the ring. She is the best female wrestler in the company. And unfortunately, her match with Asuka didn't live up to the incredibly high standards she left main eventing with Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch. It was still good, but I wish it was better. And maybe this year she'll have a match that meets expectations, but that's my Mount Rushmore: Ahmed Johnson, Booker T, Ron Simmons, and the EST of WWE, Bianca Belair.
Nice. Can't go wrong. That's a perfect list, like you said.
Yeah.
All these women and guys, they did the damn thing, and it's great wrestling. Great people. Can't go wrong. Well, Ahmed Johnson's a piece of shit, but you can't go wrong. But any final thoughts, guys? Like anything you want to mention? Any moments or any wrestlers you want to see get pushed into the future?
Well, I think I'm going to take a moment to announce another Mount Rushmore. This is the Mount Rushmore of jobbers. What I call the put me over.
Soul Train Jones.
Soul Train. So on that list is Special Delivery Jones.
Was he a jobber?
WrestleMania legend.
SD Jones, like,
Yeah.
He used to get his can kicked often. You know, you have Alicia Fox.
Yep.
Oh, Alicia Fox. Alicia Foxy, baby.
You had Bad News Brown.
Before my time.
Shout
Yeah,
out.
Him-
that dude
him
came
and his
out
pet
with a
rat.
black glove. He had a
And the
black
pet
glove
rat.
on, and just came out. He looked like he literally just like left the motel somewhere,
Mhm.
and then he talked tough, and then he get his can kicked in the ring.
Damn.
Even though he's probably the toughest guy on that roster.
And
Yeah.
that's the crazy part, because it's like you wouldn't want to fight him on the street.
Mm.
He would literally whoop your ass, but in the ring, he put people over left and right.
That sucks.
Yep. Like I don't know what it was about him that they didn't like, but
Yep.
Yep.
I didn't want to say it.
Man, we podding, man.
We
We
know.
podding, bro.
We know.
We podding. Let's keep
We
it
know.
a buck. We
know.
knew what time it was.
Are you trying to hide your face or something?
And even though the fourth guy, when his career started, he was kind of a guy that was making some waves and getting some victories towards the end of his career. He started to become a jobber, and that's my boy Coco Beware.
Ooh,
legend.
Man.
Yeah.
Because he when he started out, he was unique. He had a gimmick. He had his bird.
Mhm.
And he was out there. He was scoring W's. Then he ended up tagging with Owen Hart for a while.
Yeah.
And then after that, he just started getting L's left and right. Never understood. I was like, well, he used to be a popular guy. He used to be a star at some point, and then all of a sudden the L's just started coming. So
It's that backstage drama.
Yeah.
If
yeah,
you don't kiss the ring.
Another legit tough guy back
Yeah.
there.
yep,
Yes.
I've heard stories. He's not to be fucked with.
no, not at all.
Don't fuck with the bird. No, I don't know if anyone's seen it. Like also on Instagram, it's like someone put a highlight reel of Coco Beware's devastating finishing maneuver. I didn't even know he had one.
Yeah, I didn't know either until I saw it the other day. I'm like, holy shit!
It looked like
What was it?
the implant DDT, but it looked more like a brain buster.
Yeah.
A real brain buster from the 80s. And like, the 80s ring. donk, donk, donk. Oh man, it was brutal. It's like,
Ooh.
where was this Coco Beware?
Ew.
Holy smokes.
Thanks, Vince.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Vince.
Junior.
I had this one moment that crossed my mind. It's a significant moment, not like one of the best moments, but this dude, he worked his ass off. He worked his ass off so much that the fans said, please sign Cedric Alexander, and Triple H gave him the acknowledgement at
Yes.
the Cruiserweight Classic. He had a hell of a match
Mm-hmm.
with Kota Ibushi in the second round of the Cruiserweight Classic. Cedric Alexander. Like, I wish they did more with that man.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
another loss in the sauce, man. I mean, you say a lot about AEW having too many guys in their talent pool, but WWE's in the same boat, man. They have a lot of guys. They don't use that rotation like they should be. I really don't know where they could have gone with him. Maybe Mike-wise, he probably doesn't have it. I mean, you have all these promo classes. You can develop this guy, but come on now.
I mean, you had an entire show essentially dedicated to the cruiserweight division.
Yep.
And
Unfortunately, we know how Vince feels about cruiserweights.
yeah, you could have really used that to really showcase the cruiserweights and really blow them up to kind of main event status. I mean, WCW did it with their cruiserweights at one point. I mean, hell, where do you think Eddie Guerrero came from?
Yeah.
It was a cruiserweight.
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio, cruiserweight. You got all these guys that were cruiserweights that they developed into like big time stars that you had to take notice when they joined WWE, and you have guys like that in your company, and you just fumbled the bag left and right with them.
But do you think Cedric had that kind of charisma like Eddie or Jericho or Mysterio? Because Just watching them back in the
Charisma?
day, they just even with the mask, they had charisma.
So charisma wise, nah, he's not touching them charisma wise, but talent wise, he had that in spades.
Athletically.
This dude is literally an indie legend.
Yeah,
for some of the stuff that he's done. So you could have built off of any part of that to make him bigger than you actually did make him.
But then again, like you said, Vince is in charge and Indies.
And
coming from the Indies.
And only thing he did, only thing he did was throw him in the Hurt Business, which I love the Hurt Business, but you throw him in the Hurt Business because Lashley's at the head, and
pause.
I mean, it is what it is. Lashley's at the head. It was successful, don't get me wrong, but Cedric doesn't really get a chance to shine. Neither does Shelton Benjamin.
I was about to say that.
Because it was all about Lashley and MVP.
Yep.
You don't really get to shine.
Shelton was overlooked like crazy.
Right. And then once they separated them, they basically made the two of them a comedy act.
Yep.
That's what they did.
Yeah. Shelton was beyond athletic.
Definitely.
Yeah.
He's one of them guys that should have got one of them better pushes, but
he's
whatever it was.
It's the mic skills, man. He just couldn't cut that promo where you're just like, all right, that's why we need to push Shelton.
Should have kept him with Charlie Horse.
But
that tag team was.
But if you
they ain't need no mic skills, man. They came in the ring and did stuff that you're just like, yo, how they doing that? Or
Steiner like basically.
Yeah, I mean,
he was still getting over it even when he had his mama, the chick from the Campbell's soup.
I hated that.
She was out there.
I hated that.
That gimmick was so trash.
Yeah, I hated it.
But he was still getting over though. Like he was on TV every week, so he was still getting some time to shine. But
Brock Lesnar wasn't charismatic. Brock Lesnar couldn't talk for years.
That's it.
Yeah,
he couldn't talk for years. They threw Paul Heyman on him, and he became gold.
It's ways around it.
Somewhat talk, but for years, Paul Heyman was doing all his talking for him.
Yep.
Yeah.
You gotta bring managers back. That's what
you can't even use that because it's like you could put people on him to talk for him if you really wanted to do that. They didn't want to do
you can dress him up. You can dress anybody up.
Yeah.
It's pro wrestling.
John?
What?
What?
Wow.
something to add to this list here. Well, as I was writing my notes and writing about all the people that we did not mention, a few people that didn't get mentioned. One was Rich Swann. Everybody remember Rich Swann?
Yeah.
He's a good dude. Then he had some domestic issues, and there he went. And anyone remember TNA's and Kurt Angle's ex-girlfriend, Raka Khan?
Oh Lord, yeah.
Oh Lord, yeah.
Other honorable mentions, I guess. So Absolute Ricky Stocks.
Ah, yes.
The future of Flight Ricochet.
Is he black?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't know he black or not.
Well, he danced with Lionel Richie's All Night Long before Swerve did. And and I know we mentioned Kofi and Big E a little bit, but collectively as the New Day, we did not talk about them at all. But the New Day, I mean, they're still kicking it. They refuse to be broken up, and we all agreed with that. But right now, they're just a broken group, and we're all when they're advertising that former WWE champion weeks ago that ended up being Jinder Mahal. I was hoping it was Big E. And
yeah, me too.
Some people are just saying he'll never come back. He's still thinking about it.
I'm not even gonna lie. I was kind of hoping he would come back when they was getting their cans kicked on SmackDown.
Right.
I was hoping.
I still think that could be a possibility. They were outnumbered by
Imperium.
Was it?
Yeah, it was Imperium.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And it's like, Big E, Gunther. Oh man, then Gunther would break his neck again.
I was hoping Big E came back at the Rumble.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
that
Pop would have been
Yeah, it would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Ain't he from Tampa too?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he's
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
Florida,
Oh
yeah.
man, hell
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying. I thought that all and then
Without shopping at
place would have
Publix.
went crazy.
Sheesh.
Yeah, and yeah, so that's those are the few that I remembered when I put them down. Such luminaries, right? Raka Khan and
Yeah.
questionable Ricochet. So
Well, we also forgot about a gentleman by the name of Charles Wright. You might know him as the Godfather.
Nobody said the Godfather. That's true. I had him on my list
the
too.
Nation of Domination. He was
Talk about badass, man. That dude.
Yep.
Woo. That dude was a badass.
he
And
was
that
only
was
Papa
legit.
Shango because he was too
Yeah.
pretty. Vince McMahon thought he was too pretty.
Yeah, another gentleman who likes to eat worms.
Oh,
Oh,
Artie.
Boogeyman's over too.
Yeah, he was over as F. Yeah.
Yep.
Boogeyman.
Good old boogeyman.
Guys, watch out for. I think she's gonna have potential. Give her some time and the proper training. Lash Legend at NXT.
You think so?
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
so.
I can see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
there.
I mean, it's
It's
there,
there.
but I just feel
give her
like
some time.
after that slam, where do they go from that? And where does Otis go from that?
He'll get slammed by another woman somewhere down the line.
Oh,
I mean,
Jade.
you're talking about
Jade will do it easy.
he got carried. He got carried by Bianca. He's gotten slammed by Lash. Yeah, he's going to become the measuring stick to which strong women,
Okay.
that he's kind of embracing the comedy role right now. So
Yeah. I can see that. I just hope they don't screw that up with Lash Legend because I see the potential too. Is just I'm scared for her too. You got Jade coming in right now. You got Bianca in there.
and
Naomi's back.
right, and the problem is
Ooh.
her current gimmick is a little too close to Bianca's.
Okay.
So
They all similar.
it has to she has to kind of find her own niche before she can really take that next step up. Because if she takes a step up right now, they're just gonna be like, oh, she's another Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
What if they had Lash Legend, Bianca Belair, and Jade Cargill go against the Kabuki Warriors and Asuka? Or Io Sky,
And the
Asuka.
Kabuki Warriors.
Sounds
that'd
delicious.
be dope.
It's
It does
racing
sound real
world.
delicious.
Look.
That sound real delicious.
Yeah.
Hey, they did it back in the 90s with
Look,
the DOA,
scripted-
Los Pelicuas, and Nation.
Look,
Why not?
in a scripted
Gang
match,
warfare.
No.
in a scripted match, it should be a pretty good match. If they just put them out there in a street fight, however,
Well, yeah, you're
It's
You
gonna
know,
be
you know what's gonna happen.
it's gonna be a problem. Period. So
Yeah, it's not believable with body's size and
yeah,
Dakota. They're just
you got these three strong,
These black chicks is
three
holding it
big,
down.
big
That's what they
black
doing.
strong women versus these three smaller. Yeah, no, it's not. Mm-mm.
I mean, the only legit threat would have been Asuka in this.
Right?
Yeah, she don't need to be reduced to that right now.
Nah.
War Games.
Shoot.
I mean, as is, I think Asuka starting. I don't like Asuka as
The second
a trailer. She was meant from day one to kind of be a lead and be a star. The fact that they have her now, they keep saddling her. Now, don't get me wrong, love Kairi Sane, but you put her in a tag team. She had already been a world champion at that point. You put her in a tag team. Now you have her as part of Damage Control. Why?
Yeah, I agree.
Why? I understand they did it. I understand they did it back in the Indies, but still no real legitimate reason as to why you're doing that. Because you're just you're suppressing her right now.
I mean, if they follow through with Bailey fighting Bailey as a face, taking on an Io Sky, then you keep Damage Control like intact, just with like kicking out the original leader. You know, that's been done before, so that's one way to go about it. They didn't want to just leave, but then it's not like they replace it. So if Bailey's out,
well, you won't. It's not going to be really a replacement. It's going to be more or less. It's just going to be Dakota, Io, and the Kabuki Warriors.
Yeah.
And I mean, and realistically, they don't need any more than that anyway, since it seems like either Dakota can't wrestle or she won't be wrestling.
Well, she got her knee brace off. So
Yeah. So I mean, so legitimately, it's just the three of them anyway wrestling. So
Yeah, Kyrie Sane ain't added much.
Hey,
She
that
came
insane elbow on a knee is kind of interesting.
Or
Or whatever it is, just wrap neck, something, whatever it is. An insane elbow is hitting something. That's all I know. But I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, it was a great show. We definitely got to do it again. Maybe Cinco de Mayo, talk about some Mexican wrestlers or something like that.
Arriba.
Well, all right, guys. Adrian, plug your pods. Let the people know.
Well, shout out to all marks. We are always on Thursdays. We talk hip hop, wrestling. Follow me at Suplex Dinner Club. Look me up on YouTube if you haven't already followed. We just got over 700 subscribers. So shout out to anybody who has followed and are listening. I appreciate y'all. Mondays, Four Corner Cinema, we review movies and film with the common theme of a wrestler being in it. So the most recent episode we just did, Roadhouse. We talked about Terry Funk. We talked about the 80s film that is Roadhouse, the 80s classic. Talk 'em in the Building just dropped this past Tuesday. We talked about the Von Erichs. That was a fun episode. We went through a little journey of promos with the Von Erich family, some good, some bad. Kerry Von Erich was awful on the mic, so be sure to check that out. And like I said, All Marks Pod on Thursdays. Definitely check us out. We got other projects on the way.
Nice.
Nice.
All right. BDC.
And might I say that I heard that they're doing a remake of Roadhouse starring
Jake
Conor McGregor.
Gyllenhaal and Conor.
I'm already looking at it sideways.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So, I mean, if folks want to follow me on IG, which probably won't be much there anyway, Reign of the Phoenix. But yeah, you might see some pictures, you might see some content every now and then. But yeah, it ain't much. But if you want it, there you go. But yeah, and I'll be here as long as these dudes around here want me here. So that's pretty much it.
Rose?
Don't follow me. I don't care. I'm about to go eat some pizza, man. So, I'm about to go eat some pizza.
Roger about to have some cold pizza. He's like, God damn, hurry up.
Yo, cold pizza's the best pizza.
It is like
True.
Not refrigerated pizza. It gotta be room temperature, man. Man.
Just set out pizza.
Yes.
Just sat out for a while.
Yes.
Right.
Nah, I appreciate y'all for having me on. It was fun.
No doubt.
Besides Abel's mic not working 14 times.
Shut up.
Nice meeting you guys, the ones I don't know. Dom, you know what it is.
That's
Anytime
it.
you need me.
That's it. All right, guys. Well, I am the notorious one. We have special guest Adrian from Suplex Dinner Club. We got BDC. We got Rose. We got Dominican Dream, Poppy Platino. We got Strapfax. And we are out of time. And we will see you next time. Boom.